Jam TV.
Ciao, sono Ezio Guaitamacchi e oggi vi voglio presentare l'ultimo album della leggenda della West Coast, Graham Nash. Si chiama This Past Tonight e Nash è venuto a presentarlo in Italia, noi l'abbiamo incontrato e ci ha parlato di tante cose. 74 anni, solo però 6 album solisti all'attivo, in una carriera però che l'ha visto la maggior parte delle volte al fianco di altrettante leggende come Crosby, Stills e Neil Young. Ma iniziamo con questo ultimo album, si chiama appunto This Past Tonight e questa è la foto di copertina con cui abbiamo voluto cominciare la nostra intervista perché è stata scattata in un posto particolare ed è stata scattata da una persona che Graham Nash ha molto a cuore.
The cover of my album This Past Tonight was taken by my new love, Amy Grantham. She's a photographer, artist from New York City. That photograph was taken the first time I was ever in Woodstock. I know I played Woodstock, but Woodstock was not at Woodstock. It was at Bethel, 60 miles away. This is the first time I was ever in Woodstock. I went there recently. I played in Levon Helm's barn, and there's a song on the record called Back Home that Shane and I wrote when we knew that Levon was dying. And the emotional feeling I had when I played that song in Levon's barn with his daughter Amy in front of me crying, incredibly emotional for me.
This Past Tonight, il nuovo album di Graham Nash, è un disco molto delicato, direi poetico, intimo, molto personale. L'artista l'ha definito un viaggio. Cerchiamo di capire che cosa intendesse per viaggio.
It's my emotional journey now. I divorced my wife after almost 40 years. It's been painful and messy and not very nice. And then I fell in love, and my spirit and my soul woke up. This woman that I'm in love with set me on fire, and I had all these feelings that I needed to get out on my computer, on my journal, blah, 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 blah. And I would write, and Shane Fontaine, who is the second guitar player in the Crosby, Stills and Nash band, shares my bus when we travel around the world. And in a month, we wrote 20 songs. I kept pouring my feelings out, and I would give the words to Shane, and the next day he would come with a beautiful song. So it's all my words and all Shane's music. When I asked Shane to help me make a record, I wanted it to be more personal. I wanted it to be more intimate. I wanted it to reflect my emotions right now. And I think that I touched a nerve. I think that I have touched people's hearts with this music. Every journalist I have spoken to, and I have spoken to many, we started this promo tour in Amsterdam, went to Stockholm, Paris, London, Hamburg, Berlin, Milan. You know, I go to Rome today, and we go all the way through to Singapore and all the way to Australia. I'm very proud of this record.
Molte volte ci siamo chiesti quanto tempo richieda la creazione, l'ideazione, la scrittura, la realizzazione di un album. Ma nel caso di Graham Nash forse anche moltissimo, perché pensate che in 45, quasi 50 anni di carriera, lui ha pubblicato soltanto 6 album come solista, compreso appunto questo ultimo This Past Tonight. Eppure, questa volta, sembra che il processo creativo sia stato particolarmente rapido, una sorta di stream of consciousness.
I think it's necessary for an artist to feel. I can't write until I feel something that I have to speak about. So I don't need turmoil in my life. I need to feel whatever emotion it is, disliking and being angry with something, or completely being in love. And I go from one to the other. constantly. 1 month, 20 songs. Not bad.
Le canzoni dell'album di Graham Nash, This Past Tonight, sono per la maggior parte arrangiate in modo veramente semplicissimo, a volte quasi esclusivamente 2 chitarre acustiche e voci. Mi sono chiesto e ho chiesto a Graham se quella è una scelta razionale, decisa da lui. Sentiamo che cosa ci ha detto.
That was my choice because that's what I asked Shane to do for me. Put together a great band, put together the studio, and it was the Village in Santa Monica in Los Angeles. That's where Crosby and I did Wind on the Water album in 1975. I love that studio. So Shane put together a great band for me, and we all played in the same room. Drums, bass, piano, organ, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, harmonica and vocals, all in the same room.
Per sua stessa missione, dunque, Graham Nash ha voluto che questo album fosse una sorta di studio sulla sua persona, sulle sue sensazioni, sulle sue turbolenze emotive di quest'ultimo periodo. Eppure, alla fine del disco ci sono almeno 2 bonus track che hanno invece un argomento politico. Una in particolare, Watch Out for the Wind, racconta di un episodio che ha fatto scalpore in America e che ha riempito le pagine dei giornali.
One morning, Shane Fontaine and I heard that Michael Brown, an African-American teenager, had been killed by the police in Ferguson in Missouri. And once again, we felt angry that this had happened. We wrote the song that morning and played it live on stage that evening. And David and Stephen had never heard the song. So yes, another song is Mississippi Burning, which we wrote about the 3 students who were murdered in Mississippi in the mid-60s when they were helping black people vote.
Nel 1967, quando Ronald Reagan si presentava come governatore della California, Graham Nash dichiarò che se Reagan avesse vinto, lui avrebbe lasciato lo Stato della California. Qualche anno dopo, quando Reagan si presentò alle elezioni politiche presidenziali, lui dichiarò che se Reagan avesse vinto, avrebbe lasciato gli Stati Uniti. Tutte e 2 le volte non l'ha fatto, però gli ho chiesto: che cosa faresti se Donald Trump diventasse presidente degli Stati Uniti d'America?
If Donald Trump becomes the president, and there is a very small chance that he might be the president of the United States, it's a terrifying thought to me. In the case of Ronald Reagan, he had people around him that advised him. He was really a puppet, right? George W. Bush had people around him that told him what to do. I don't think that Donald Trump will listen to anyone. I think that he thinks that he knows everything. And if he becomes president, I really don't know what I will do, because it will be awful for the United States and for the rest of the world.
Qualche anno fa Graham Nash mi aveva raccontato che si stava occupando della realizzazione di un album che potesse raccogliere le session tra Stephen Stills e Jimi Hendrix. Non si è più saputo nulla, quindi la mia curiosità è ancora più crescente in questi giorni, ma un'altra curiosità che ho è un paragone tra 2 chitarristi, uno elettrico, Jimi Hendrix appunto, e uno acustico, il grande Michael Hedges, che Graham Nash ha conosciuto personalmente e di cui ha una stima enorme.
I couldn't find enough music that Jimi Hendrix and Stephen had played together. There was not enough for an album. So on Stephen's box set that I produced with my friend Joel Bernstein, there is a couple of tracks of Stephen with Jimmy, but there wasn't enough music for an album. Jimi Hendrix was an incredibly unique musician. The very first time I saw one of his first shows in London, I was with John and Paul and Brian Jones, and we could not believe how this man was playing. Unbelievable. But Jimmy was not like his persona on stage. He was a very shy man and a very bright man. And as I said, a unique musician. And the same can be said for Michael Hedges, a dear friend of me and Crosby, who unfortunately passed away much too young. But Michael Hedges was an incredibly unique musician. I don't know anyone in the world that played like Michael Hedges. And I was so sad when he passed away. So sad.
Alla fine degli anni 60 Graham Nash e Joni Mitchell erano la coppia più invidiata del mondo rock. Un grande amore che però è finito male, o comunque insomma è finito. Qualche tempo fa Joni Mitchell è stata colpita da un male improvviso, una specie di aneurisma, e versa in gravi condizioni, ma le sue condizioni di salute sono state molto tenute segrete, per cui ho chiesto all'amico di sempre, a Graham Nash, di sapere come sta oggi Joni Mitchell.
Joni is making progress every day, always moving forward, becoming who she was. She has a team of people that really love her and are taking care of her. She's awake, alert, she's talking. She called the other day for paints. So, okay, if Joni Mitchell is calling for paint, she must be coming back. I'm very hopeful. It may be slower than we thought, but she will make it back.
Questi sono giorni molto tristi per noi appassionati di rock. Molte star di questa musica ci hanno lasciato, ci stanno lasciando, da David Bowie a Keith Emerson, da Paul Kantner a Glenn Frey, tutti amici di Graham Nash, e volevo sapere proprio da lui quale di queste morti lo ha, come dire, colpito maggiormente, gli ha lasciato un maggior senso di vuoto.
All of them, from Bowie, who I thought was a genius, to Glenn Frey, who was my friend, you know, because the Eagles, they were the same managers as we had. Paul Kantner, my dear friend from the Jefferson Airplane. Sion Anderson, the original vocalist with the Jefferson Airplane, who died on the same day Paul did, at the same age. When you go through, you know, Lemmy from Motorhead, Sir George Martin, you know, how can you listen to all that music and not be influenced by it? It's very sad. I mean, Keith Emerson the other day. I mean, and they're all my age. And it makes me curious as to my mortality. You know, how much time do I have left? I'm 74 years old now. How much time do I have? I need to use every single second of the day the best way I can.
Questo era Graham Nash e il suo ultimo album, This Path Tonight. Non resta quindi che ascoltare il disco e aspettare Graham Nash in tour in Italia il prossimo giugno. Diverse date, tutte interessanti, informazione acustica, lui e Shane Fontaine sul palco. Un repertorio che andrà dagli esordi fino alle canzoni di questo ultimo album.
You're welcome. Ciao.